Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and today I'm joined by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us for episode 25. 25, guys, here on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. In today's episode, we will be discussing the upcoming match between Inter Miami and NYCFC on Saturday. For those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. We want to give a huge shout out to our chief Heron Head, Matias. Thank you so much for your generous support. Additionally, we'd like to thank our other Heron Heads. We have Art, Brian, Kevin, James, and Karen. If you feel so inclined to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. If you don't feel so inclined, that's totally okay too. We appreciate you being here. Yesterday sucked. So yesterday we lost to Houston in the US Open Cup final. I was so down all day today. I just felt so deflated. It's been the least motivated I've been to do anything since we started recording this podcast a couple months ago. How was your guys' day? How was your day, Dave?
I mean, I feel like a big doo-doo pie is what I was telling you guys earlier. You can't help but feel demoralized. It's the coming season now feels a little bleak because we don't know when we're going to get Messi back. We don't know when we're going to get Alba back. We just caught a glimpse of what our team has looked like the past couple games without those two pillars. And now we're facing a crucial match to stay in the playoff hunt. We just dropped a chance to win another trophy, and that might have been it. That might have been a momentum killer for this club, and it stinks. So I want to be positive. I want to power through, but we have reality to face right now.
You know, it kind of feels like we either got broken up with or cheated on or lied to. So we kind of are being lied to, I think. Tata's lying to us. I think the team's lying to us a little bit about Messi. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Feeling a little down, but I'm ready to put that behind us. Looking forward. NYCFC, we got a good matchup. Like you guys have been saying, it's a big one, all right? It's a big one for the playoffs. We still have our eyes set to the playoffs. We're only 5 points behind at the end of the day. All right, so we can't let this trophy thing put us in the gutter. We just got to keep on going. We have a tough match ahead of us. We're missing some key players. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to see who we could plug in there and see what we could do as far as the lineups go. But I still think we got a chance. You know, the teams ahead of us aren't world beaters. All right, they're average, pretty average teams for the most part. We just played Houston. They're top of the West. Orlando's top in the East. So very different outcomes for both of those matches. So I think NYCFC is a much easier opponent. All right, they're in the middle there with us, kind of fighting for that spot. Right now they have it. They could very easily be knocked out of that spot. So again, let's put that aside. Let's move forward. NYCFC is up next, and I think we have a chance to win here. But let's take a look at the matchup a little deeper.
Yeah, well, Julio, we luckily have another game to look forward to. That's what I'm thinking in my head. And NYCFC, this is a game that we've been looking forward to because it's literally the team that we need to beat to get there, to take their spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, we got a big game ahead, so we got to put it behind us. Now, what's going to be interesting to see is how do we respond. That's what's going to be interesting because we can have a letdown game also, where we're like, man, we just lost the final. And yeah, and exactly how David feels, a doo-doo pie. Well, how do you think that the team feels where they don't even know if their captain's going to step on the field with them or not? You know, it's hard. It's hard to. And Tata today missed the not the interview,
tomorrow he'll be missing the press. Not missing. He's not speaking at the press conference tomorrow.
Okay, so yeah, he's not. Why do you think that is? That just makes more speculation around the team. That's going to be another distraction. It's just we just have a lot of distractions right now around our team, and it sucks because I'd rather the attention be on what we were focusing on leading up to these finals, the last 2 months that we've been having, where it was we are winning, and that's what's funner to talk about than this. Because honestly, all this is speculation. We don't know who's who, what's what, and It's just a lot of guessing, and it sucks. As a fan, as you know, it just sucks.
Yeah, I don't want to talk much, if at all, if possible, about the Houston match, but there were some rumors today that came out, and even last night, this was starting to make the rounds that even the team, like the actual team, Inter Miami, didn't find out that Messi was not playing at all until the lineup was released. Like they didn't find out until like an hour before the match, which is very disappointing. There was no walkthrough yesterday for the match. Like, how do you? It just felt like a really weird, just mishandling of what should have been one of our biggest matches of the season. It's one of the biggest matches in our club's history because it was just the second final that we've ever found ourselves in for a major trophy. So it's the whole situation is very odd, and I agree with you. It makes it very confusing for us because all we can do is speculate based on the information that's made available through other sources. Like it's not like the club's coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, Messi is actually hurt and he's probably going to miss 2 weeks, expected to miss 3 weeks." Like we don't know. There's just like, "Oh, he's fatigued. He has some scar tissue that's flaring up." We just like don't get any clear-cut information, and it makes it very frustrating, to be quite frank. But you know, they're allowed to be secretive because of the rules that the league has set in place, and there's nothing we can do about it. So all we can do is speculate, like you said. So let's go ahead and speculate a little bit about this match.
Julio, I just want to add one more thing. It's okay to be. My problem here is it's okay to be secretive, obviously because of the rules, to the news outlets, to the fans, whatever. But to be secretive to your own team, to not have a walkthrough, like you said, to not know the starting lineup until an hour or whatever before the match, that's a disgrace to your own team. That should not happen. So yes, be secretive to everyone else to not show your game plan, but your team has to know, man. I don't see. He's obviously not going to say why he did that, but I would love to know why. I would love to know the reasoning behind that.
It further explains why we were so atrocious in the first half of that match.
Yeah. That's got to be out of his hands. Like I don't see a tactical advantage for a coach to not be upfront with his team that they might not have something. This makes me think that Messi, honestly, maybe Messi really wanted to give it a go and he didn't feel confident to say he couldn't until the very last minute. That might be it. That doesn't really solve the not walkthrough, like the fact that they didn't have a walkthrough, because
it's a final.
I don't see any scenario where you don't have the walkthrough.
David, bottom line, do you think Messi needs a walkthrough? Like it's one of those things where it's like everyone else does. No. Everyone else does. But so we just take your team out, trot them out, say, hey, we're assuming he's not going to play. This is how we're going to play it.
Or just say, this is the plan if he doesn't. This is the plan if he does.
Right.
Yeah, very odd. Let's move on. The whole I don't want to get bogged down by Houston anymore. I want to get it honestly.
The pitch was wet.
It was a bit moist out there. So for NYCFC, the Mighty Pigeons, they're actually one of the most informed teams in the East right now. They're unbeaten in their last 5, 2 wins back to back. Before that, 2 draws and a win before that. Those wins against Toronto, which is not the most impressive thing, and the other win was against Orlando City, which was disappointing from our perspective because Orlando is one of the better teams in the East, and they got points off of them. Orlando coincidentally play Montreal this week, so another opportunity for them to help us out. I'm not counting on it. Let's take care of our business. I'm just going to mention the players that I don't think will be available. I don't think Messi's going to be available. I don't think Alba is going to be available. We know that Yedlin is unavailable due to yellow card accumulation, so he's suspended for this match. So we have holes in the worst possible places for our team. Obviously, Messi missing is just the drop-off is immense and irreplaceable. So what are we going to do? It was a big point of discussion leading up to our preparation for this show, and I figured let's just turn on the microphones and let's start talking about this. So why don't we just start off right here? What are we going to do, guys? Like, who's going to play? Who's going to play in place of? I think Yedlin is the most interesting one because we haven't really seen an effective replacement for him. I started throwing out some names that are of players that haven't played in months. 4 or 5 months ago was like the last time we saw any of these people. So who do you guys think comes in?
I think that it depends on the formation, obviously. If we go 4 at the back, if we go 5 at the back. I think if we do go 5 at the back, I think we might be able to see Toto maybe give it a go at that right back position, and maybe have Sailor in there kick into the right center back position, and of course you're gonna have Noah Allen on the other side because nobody expects Jordi Alba to play. The reason I go with Toto is he is the most mobile of our center backs, so it would be nice to see him, and he has I guess a little bit more of ball control, and again, just by a fact of being that so much younger than the others, so that could be a good a decent replacement. It's not gonna provide what we're losing, but there's no good replacement for either of our wing backs. So this is gonna be interesting.
In that scenario, David, is it 5 in the back or 4 in the back?
That's what 5.
Do you have that extra? Okay, I was gonna say, do you have 4 in the back and have that extra center back at the bench just in case you need it?
Instead of, we would have Miller. It would be Miller, Christoph, and then instead of Toto in the middle, you'll have Sailor playing that third center back position, and then you'll have Noah Allen and Toto on the wings. Yuck, but that's this. I have a feeling this lineup is going to be gross.
Yeah, it's depleting our subs too. If one of those guys get hurt in center back position, then we're really deep into deep
well,
duty.
If that happens, then if I have a feeling if let's say we go 5 back and we have Toto as a wing back, if one of those center backs gets hurt, then I expect them to kick him inside and put in a stopgap, just like when we put in Ruiz as a wing back. Like they'll do something similar in that situation. But I don't think that you'll start a match with Ruiz at wing back. I don't think you can have such an offensive minded player at that spot that early.
Go, Chris. And I'm gonna change. Okay. I want to rephrase your question, Julio. It's not so much what you think. I don't think it's a matter of what you think. Tata's gonna do is, quite frankly, I'm really like losing interest in. I think it's what do we think would be the better alternative to with what we've seen, what makes the most sense versus what we've seen against NYCFC. Not even them, because they're obviously in great form. What can we do to get in better form? And with the talent that we have versus the talent that we're facing, what's the best strategy for this game, right? I'll start first. Okay. I'm thinking we go 5 in the back. Why? Because we need to control possession. If we don't control possession in this game, we're not going to have a fun game. It's not going to be fun at all, and we're just going to not have a fun game. I have to go with my guy Robert Taylor. I'm going to put him. We've already put him at right back before. I think if we put him at right back and we just have him driving the ball up, having Noah Allen on the left side, just good luck all around. Just good luck. Christoph in the middle, Kamal on one side, Christoph on the other, and Toto's basically gonna be the back flank, just trying to help out whoever loses a defender. I think we're gonna have to do maybe two center mids and then a center forward kind of thing, and maybe have Facu as a center forward. Okay, maybe center mids and Sergio obviously at Arroyo to have some kind of a veteran presence there. And then we'll have Facu, trying to distribute in the middle there. And then we'll have Joseph and combine on the top. I think that's one way of, not necessarily being super offensive, but more counter, just trying to drive the counters more so, because I just don't have any actual like urge to think that we can produce any offense without Messi. That's where I'm at this point, and against the team that we're facing. I think we muck it up, make it 0-0, and try to get a goal at the end.
I think I think we're really gonna have, or it's really gonna test the strategy of the team overall. You know how we always say the team plays through their wing backs. They attack a lot, they move up a lot. I think Tata's going to really have to change that scheme a lot in this match, just because of your missing pieces. I think if there's any match to ever roll out a 4-2-3-1, it's this match. I kind of agree with the Toto Aviles. I don't know who else would play that, but Toto Aviles a right back with your 2 center backs, and then obviously Noah Allen at the left back. But I think having the 2 extra defensive center mids in Arroyo and Busquets helping out, in your unit that's super weak to begin with, and now you're missing all of these players. I think that's key to help a little bit extra in the defensive area. And then the three center mids, and obviously Campana attacking, or God knows what Tata's going to do in this match. If he's going to start Martinez, since he saw that he played so well in the second half of last match, maybe Campana's a little tired, but yeah, I think he's going to have to really change the way that he schemes this match. They aren't going to be. There's no way that they could rely on their wing backs for this, as they usually do. If you start sending them up all of a sudden, you're just going to be left completely wide open in the defensive back line, and that's just a fact.
So you want Tata to tinker, huh?
Unfortunately, I want Tata.
He's kind of forced to, isn't he?
Right.
It's out of necessity.
What was your original question again? I forgot. You answered it in.
So it's funny you said David Ruiz at right back would be a no-go for you, because I was going to suggest the idea of it. I don't think he's as offensive-minded as Robert Taylor, and we saw Robert Taylor back there. I feel like David Ruiz is more solid in defense compared to Robert Taylor specifically. And similarly to Toto, he's young, has a lot of energy. We saw it against Orlando. He was all over the place. That could be interesting. I'm kind of with you, Chris. Tata needs to tell the wingbacks, just chill, play a little bit more traditional. Let's go forward the back, but stay back. Stay mostly back. Pick and choose your spots, but overall, don't bomb down the field like we usually see with our team. But we're not going to have Yedlin, who loves getting up. We're not going to have Alba, who we know he loves getting up, and he's very effective in doing that. And Noah Allen's been trying to replicate it with real limited success, if any. So yeah, I actually wouldn't be opposed to seeing David Ruiz. There's a couple options. I think you can do Toto, who would be interesting to see how he performs at right back for an extended period of time. We've seen him go up the pitch in spots, but to have him play right back proper, or like a proper wing back, that would be interesting. I think he has the energy. I think he has the defensive capabilities to do it to some effect. Probably better as a proper defender compared to these other suggestions. You could see Robert Taylor again, because Tata's done it before. I think that would be I don't think that would be the best of the options. Maybe we see McVay come back and play right back, even though he hasn't played since July. I also think I don't know. Like I hate putting these players that just have never played the position before. That's why I'm saying like a McVay or like a Happy Birthday Ian Frey. I want someone that can defend, obviously, rather than putting an offensive-minded player there. But it's gonna be brutal. I hope that they go for at the back, or Tata goes for at the back. And we're going to. This is gonna sound like an obvious statement. We're gonna have to outscore them. So I hope that we put an attacking-minded team out there. I hope we put an attacking-minded lineup out there. I don't want to muck it up and go 0-0. I want it to be. Let it be a shootout. Let it be 5-3. I disagree with you, Jose. I have confidence in our attack. They looked like garbage last match, but that was just bad tactics leading up to it. There was, like we already talked about, no warm-ups, no walkthroughs. You can tell it was the most disjointed I've seen this team in a long time. This is the time right now to bounce back and rise up and be like, all right, that's not going to happen. We're going to look prepared. We're not going to look inept. And I want to see us go after. Like, New York has the position of power. They have the points on us. So they don't necessarily need to chase this match to the level that we do. They need to protect their position. So they need a result. And if they lose, they're in trouble of missing. But we need to really chase it. So I want to see an aggressive lineup. I want to see an attacking lineup. I don't care if we win the possession battle. I know that's a key to our success. But I want to see a team that can go out there and score 3 goals. Put Farias in there. Put Kermaski in there. Put Stefanelli in there. Like, I would love for Stefanelli to get a shot to start. He's looked good in his brief spells that we've seen the last couple matches. Put them in there. Put Joseph in there. I never thought I would hear myself say that, but Joseph looked good. He had a good motor when he came in against Houston. Who would have thought?
You have to go with the hot hands.
Go with the hot hand. 100%.
I think if we're gonna do that, if we're gonna go so offensive minded up front, then they should ditch the whole wing back system altogether. That's what I'm saying. You have a left and a right fullback. And at that point, then absolutely, then I don't want David Ruiz wasted. At that point, then
agreed.
Like I do like what he.
I would want Toto, or I would want McVay, or I would Sailor. Like put a defensive body back there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta do it better than how you constructed it right now. If you want to go full offense, 3 center backs, and come on with her, Toto on one side, Kristoff in the middle, and let's go.
No, I'm not saying I want total. I'm saying that
I'm just saying
4 guys. I want the 4 guys in the back to be solid.
You can be offensive and still have 4 at the back. Mm-hmm. We have good pieces to be offensive without having to ditch having a proper back line.
This is the thing. We don't have our weakest point right now. Our weakest point is currently our backs. Our right back.
We're not going to make it weaker. We're not going to make it weaker.
It can be weaker, but David, it's the worst position. It cannot be weaker.
Right. So then why do you want to subtract?
Why would you put less defenders?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the areas where we're better at. So we're better at midfield. We have a lot of guys that we can just throw into that area. A lot of guys, a lot of wingers that we could throw. You mentioned Stefanelli. You mentioned David Ruiz. I don't even have those guys in the lineup that I created right here. Like straight up, if I were to take out Noel Allen, Robert Taylor, guess what? I put on I'll do a 4-man front up here, and let's go. Let's try to make it. Then at that point, fine. Let's make it let's go. Let's get after them. Fine, but I don't. If he wants to actually make a difference in the game, and you have to either go muck it up or go the other way. But
so you want what, like a 3-3-4?
Yeah, something crazy. No, like 2 wings. 2 wings and 2 strikers. Yeah, literally the way that I just described it. The way that it was.
Yeah, 3 in the back, 3 mids, and then 4 up front.
3. It's like a 2 CDMs.
When we came out against Jose, when we came out against Kansas City, I think is a good example here.
I'm going to draw it for you right now.
Great.
Go ahead.
While you work on that, I'm going to talk about this Kansas City game because I think it's a good blueprint for what we could see.
Yeah.
It was a 4-3-3. Full disclosure, we had Alba and Yedlin. Great. But it was a 4-3-3/4-2-3-1, and we've talked about this a couple times now. We had a midfield that consisted of Busquets, Arroyo, Farias, Robinson and Stefanelli, and Campana up top. It does 2 things. It gives us a lot of bodies to throw up and attack, which then by way makes us very attacking. And it also gives us body in midfield to avoid exactly what happened against Houston, which is that Houston dominated the midfield and thereby dominated the game. They were able to throw bodies to the wings when we went down the wing. They were able to compress in the middle when we tried to go down the middle, and there was never any good option. New York City FC has played 4-2-3-1, and they've played 4-3-3 in the past couple games. They're going to try to have the midfield advantage. So match them or overrun them in the midfield. We have good midfielders. We have good players that can play possession ball, play high possession ball, and have more numbers than them. Put more numbers in the midfield. Don't add a 5th body in the back. Play with your wingbacks in a bit more of a traditional style because you're very short-handed. And let the people that are in the midfield and up do the work and get after it. And then, have a line that's maybe not so high and sit back and keep the game in front of you. I think that Sporting Kansas City is a decent blueprint to look at. Are you done drawing your schematic?
I'm not. I'm like thinking about it. Keep going. I'm gonna have
curious.
By the end of this segment, I'm gonna have a nice little.
Jose just drew it and said, "What have I done?"
No, I've already told myself
things are worse than ever.
The 4 on the top doesn't work out. I already decided that in my head right now. So it doesn't work.
You don't say 4 at the top doesn't work. Great.
Just crumble it, throw it in the garbage.
And just three guys by themselves in the back.
So while Jose's working on that, Chris, let's talk about the New York City defense a little bit. You had looked up some team stats on them and how they've been performing.
Yeah, their goals against, they're actually, I think, seventh in the league as far as goals against goes, at least goals against. So that actually, it actually backs up to what you're trying to say, Julio, to try to bulk up that attack and really go after it. Their save percentage is actually pretty good too. So just a couple of film sessions that we had on here that I saw the goalie made some really nice saves. So that along with their back line is a nice combination for them to really keep these goals down. And they also don't allow a lot of shots either. I don't think they're top 10, but I noticed they didn't allow a lot of shots, which is not good for us.
So in the past 5 matches, in the past 5 matches, they've allowed 1 goal. They've played Toronto, Orlando, New York Red Bulls, Vancouver, and Montreal. So, yeah, to your point, they don't allow many goals, or if they allow good shots, they have a capable goalkeeper. Jose, are you ready with your schematic?
I am.
Let's hear it.
I think if you're going to go offensive, 3 in the back, put Kamal Miller, like I said, Christoph Aviles, put 2 CDMs, Sergio, right? Sergio and Arro, right there, right in between the little gaps. Then you go into the midfield right there, right ahead of them. Crema, Facu in the middle, and Ruiz. Okay? And you go on top. Joseph, you ready, Julio? You ready for this one? Robert Taylor, left side, and Stefanelli on the right side. If you're gonna go offensive, you don't.
How many players do you have on the pitch?
Enough. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So we're gonna play with 12 men. That's your solution.
All right, whatever.
Or no keeper. You want to be offensive? Take out the keeper and put another outfield player in there.
This is why Tata lies.
See how frustrating it is when we have to speculate over here?
Whatever.
All right, so I'm glad that took you a couple minutes to focus on that.
My favorite's when the light bulb turned on. He looked up and he's like, I got it.
It looks so good.
I figured it out.
It looks so good.
Jose, in your speculative 12-man team, did you take Facu out? You didn't mention Facu?
I had him in the middle. Actually.
You did? Oh, okay. I was about to say, shoot, you put 12 people, you still left off Facu?
But you understand what I'm trying to do in the sense of, like, we're super heavy and guys in the middle.
We're trying to overwhelm them with way too many players. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that, like, I'm not crazy about our wings, but we have a weirdly constructed team where I feel like we're strongest in our middle, in our middle area, and then we have Joseph Campana basically up on top.
I think most of us are strongest in our middle area.
That's right. Strong cores. A lot of strong cores over here.
So you have Joseph and Campana that we're going to substitute regardless, right? So it's not really, it's not something that we're going to have to substitute during the game. So, you don't have to put them both on. And you just have a stronger middle. Just what are we best at? Just use that more.
It's why I suggest. Go ahead.
The only problem is that it's going to obviously weaken us down the line, to be honest, because that's just basically all of our good players that we're throwing in there.
It's why I suggest a 4-2-3-1 is to emphasize that we are good in the middle, that we have good, capable players in the middle. It's our best chance at holding possession. It's our best chance at taking away possession from New York City. And then we can get after it. We can have an outlet, whether it's Joseph, the people that are playing higher up, but in the midfield can, they can play a little bit loose, go out to the wing at times, stay central, and push up when needed, and then maybe overwhelm their defense, who's caught on a counter or just caught when they're set and pulled out of position. That's my reasoning for suggesting it. That's why I said that in the build up to Houston. I suggested maybe going to a 4-2-3-1, and I think it gives us a good chance.
The Kansas City one was a good blueprint. But the only difference is, if you remember that game, Jordi Alba was not staying back. It wasn't what
I agree. But my caveat is to Chris's point is for Tata to say, tactically, both wingbacks, you need to sit your asses back in the defensive line and stay back. Like, very few times when you have acres of space in front of you, get up. But otherwise, you need to stay to your position, not be so aggressive. You can obviously like curl up a bit and provide support because otherwise you're going to have players that get left out and just isolated. But they can't be nearly as aggressive as they've been when you have even just Yedlin, because Yedlin is you feel more confident. Obviously, Houston was a disaster.
It was just a bad matchup, I think. Looking back at it, like I was looking at the film today about it because I want to know what happened to him, particularly where he was for us. I felt like he was someone that we can count on. I mean, there's no point talking about him in this one.
9 out of 10 times you can. 9 out of 10 times you can. So, but I think whoever replaces him, even if it's Toto, if it's Ruiz, it doesn't matter. Whoever it is not going to be nearly as effective running up and down that side as Yedlin is. He's been doing it his whole career. Whoever you put back there is not used to doing that with a high level of efficiency. So Tata should tell whoever's playing wing back, probably Noah Allen on the left, and then whoever he puts on the right, and say, hey, let's tone it down a little bit, play more defensively minded, and then let the people that are ahead of you, in front of you, the midfield and the attackers, let them carry the load of working down the flanks, working the wings. Because we need to make sure that we're very solid. New York sometimes has trouble putting the ball in the back of the net and not taking advantage of their chances. So let's make it as difficult as possible. Let's not make it nearly as easy as we allowed Houston to run at us. Let's make sure that we have bodies back at all time. And we'll take our chances then. We have to make sure that the attack does their job and attack effectively, but the defense needs to do their job and defend effectively. Yeah. Let's all nod our heads.
Agreed.
Good plan. Let's go. Break. All right, so let's should we just dive right into predictions?
Yeah.
Let's dive right in. Is Dave Stradamus in the building, or is he still crying from last night's match?
Dave Stradamus is always in the building.
Here we go.
Slap your helmet right now.
So I'm gonna start us off. I'm gonna do score prediction and time of goal prediction. We don't have to do a Marvel prediction because I don't think Messi is gonna play.
That's a prediction.
That's true. We can do a Messi. Will Messi play prediction? Even that includes coming off the bench. I'm gonna say no. I think final score is going to be a squeaky bum 1-0 Inter Miami win. And first goal is going to be 76th minute.
Yeah, I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Miami. I think we'll get one early goal and one very, very late end of game goal to kind of just put it away. But it's going to be a slog. It's going to be a slog, and I'm very curious to see who actually gets out there. My little bonus prediction is I think Stefanelli might get a start.
Very early goal. What time?
Very early for these guys. I would say 18th minute.
All right, I'm gonna go with let's go with a 3-2 win. Why not? 3-2 win. We're talking about we got to go a little stronger in the attack. I think we're going to go strong in the attack. We're going to catch these guys sleeping. They probably just saw this Houston matchup. They're feeling a little confident in themselves. They're going to go in and they're going to regret sleeping on us. We're going to score 3 goals on them. Messi's not going to play, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to not be the homer. I'm gonna be the Jose Stradamus this time, and it's gonna be 2-1. It's gonna be NYCFC that wins, and it's gonna be we just lost the final. Well, we're gonna rise up from the ashes and just to beat the team that's best and that's in better form than the team we just lost to. We didn't just lose to that team; we got wrecked by that.
Houston was in better form. Go on.
Houston was in much better form, by the way. Houston was playing hot
this team's a 5-0, never lost in the last 5 games. I don't know what to tell you.
They've only won 1 game away from their stadium.
Yeah, in Houston's away record, how was that? It was bad too.
Twice as many.
Exactly.
Double it.
There you go.
They had won 4 throughout the season in all competitions.
Exactly.
4 times better.
They did not do very good at all.
Quadruple it.
I've said my prediction. We're losing 2-1. Book it.
First goal for Miami?
No.
That's not how the game works, Jose. Listen, Chris, to your point of saying that you're going very attacking, I really spoke up the idea of Miami having to go very attack-minded, and then I said 1-0. So I'm going to edit my score prediction. And you know what, Jose? Cocky Inter Miami fans back, all right? 3-0. 3-0.
Yes, sir.
17th minute.
Jose, if we lose to New York FC,
Julio, you had too much coffee. Just get relax and get a little massage.
Let's go, man. Pump that cafecito.
This is the KG,
Jose, if we lose to New York FC, that could very well be a season ender. So if it happens, I want everybody, instead of bringing pots and pans and champagne bottles, it's torches and pitchforks to Jose's house.
Why my house? What did I do? I went to the game.
I saw the first
bloodbath.
You are the first of us to go to a game since Messi arrived, and we lost a final. We all attended.
I was the first one that went to a game that Messi didn't go to. How about that?
That's not true.
That's not true. Dave and I went to a game where Messi didn't play.
We went to a game, and we won.
I don't know what to tell you, Jose.
We
all experienced victories.
I see 3 dubs and 1 L.
I saw a horrible team on Wednesday, and I'm gonna see a horrible team on Saturday.
It's I can feel your aura of negativity, and it's like you're still sweating out yesterday. It's like it's still just oozing out of
cleanse.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go as I did yesterday. I played some FC 24, and I took my anger out on everyone that I played against. So yeah, I'm gonna do it again today, and I'm gonna keep doing that up until Saturday because I know it's coming.
I love it. So on that note, let's wrap this up so we can go play some FC 24. It's been real, guys. It's been real. I feel like my spirit has been uplifted, especially with Jose doubting us. I feel like that's a kiss of death to NYCFC. I'm feeling great now.
The last time I did that, you remember what happened? The last time I did that?
We won.
Yeah. So there you go.
And you had to kiss not Campana. You had to kiss Calendar's butt. You had to kiss Robert Taylor's butt.
I don't think that was the game. I think it was a different game.
Yeah, but you're kissing everybody's
butt. We'll get ready to do it this time.
That's right. Pucker up, big boy.
Well, who am I calling out this time?
Doesn't matter. Everybody. The entire team. The entire team.
Okay. You want me to do it? I'm gonna look in the camera. You know who I'm calling out this time? Tata, do me a favor. Just stop falling on top of Messi and having him carry you all around the pitch. Do me a favor. Make a tactical decision that actually works for us, and God forbid we can get a win. How about that?
I love it. So make sure you join us on Saturday night live on YouTube to watch Jose apologizing to Tata and apologizing really to the entire Inter Miami fan base for doubting. We'll be sure to bring the champagne bottles and pots and pans. And as always, thanks for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first place for all things Inter Miami. We'll catch you next time. I'm Ron Burgundy.
We'll be right back.